I sat in the stiff leather chair, my hands sweating. The room smelled like old books and dust. Mr. Harris, our family lawyer, cleared his throat. "Thank you for coming, Michael, Daniel, Mrs. Carter." His voice was flat, almost bored. Daniel leaned back, arms crossed. "Let's get this over with, Mr. Harris. I have a meeting in an hour." I glanced at Mom. She stared at the floor, her hands twisting a tissue. I wanted to reach for her, but I didn't. Mr. Harris opened a folder. "Your father's will is straightforward. He leaves the family home, the business, and all personal effects to Daniel Carter." I blinked. "What?" Daniel grinned. "I knew it." Mr. Harris didn't look up. "Michael, your father wished for you to have his books and a small savings account." I stared at the table. "That's it," Daniel laughed. "Guess Dad knew who could handle things." I clenched my fists. "He always said we'd share everything." Daniel shrugged. "Plans change. Maybe you should have worked harder." I looked at Mom. "Did you know about this?" She shook her head, eyes still down. "No, I didn't." Mr. Harris closed the folder. "If there are no questions, we're done here." I stood up, my legs shaky. "There has to be a mistake. Dad wouldn't do this." Daniel smirked. "Face it, Mike. You were always second best." I felt my face burn. "You think you deserve all of it?" He leaned in, voice low. "I earned it. You just coasted." I wanted to hit him. Instead, I turned to Mom. "Say something, please." She finally looked at me, her eyes red. "I'm sorry, Michael. I didn't know." Daniel grabbed the keys from the table. "I'll be moving in tonight. Don't touch my stuff." I glared at him. "It was our home, not just yours." He shrugged. "Not anymore." Mr. Harris stood. "If you need anything, Michael, let me know." I shook my head. "I don't need charity." Daniel laughed again. "You'll get over it. You always do." I walked out, my heart pounding. The hallway felt colder than the office. I heard Daniel behind me, talking to Mr. Harris. "So, when do I get the business paperwork?" Daniel asked. Mr. Harris replied, "I'll have it ready by tomorrow." I kept walking. I didn't want to hear more. Outside the sky was gray. I waited for Mom, but she stayed inside. I sat on the steps, staring at the street. My phone buzzed. A text from Daniel. "Don't forget to grab your stuff. I'm changing the locks." I wanted to scream. Instead, I called Mom. She didn't answer. I walked home alone. Every step felt heavy. I remembered Dad teaching me to ride my bike on this street. I remembered Daniel pushing me off, laughing when I fell. I remembered Mom bandaging my knee, whispering, "You're stronger than you think." I reached the house. Daniel's car was already in the driveway. He was fast. I went inside. The living room was empty, boxers stacked by the door. Daniel stood in the kitchen, tossing keys in his hand. "You packing up?" I ignored him. I went to my room, grabbed a box, and started filling it with books. Dad's old watch was gone from the dresser. I stormed back to the kitchen. "Where's Dad's watch?" Daniel smirked. "It's mine now." "Read the will." I gritted my teeth. "You don't even care about it." He shrugged. "Doesn't matter. It's mine." I wanted to argue, but I knew it was pointless. I grabbed my box and left. Mom was in the hallway, her eyes wet. "Michael, I'm so sorry." I shook my head. "It's not your fault." She reached for me, but I stepped back. "I just need some time." She nodded. "I understand." I walked out, the box heavy in my arms. Daniel called after me, "Don't forget to leave your key." I tossed it on the porch without looking back. I walked to the park, sat on the swings, and stared at the ground. My phone buzzed again. A message from Daniel. "Don't make this harder than it is." I deleted it. I sat there until the sun went down. My mind raced. Why did Dad do this? Was I really that much of a disappointment? I thought about every argument, every time Daniel got his way, every time I was told to be the bigger person. I called Mom again. This time she answered, "Michael." I swallowed hard. I don't understand. She sighed. "Your father He was complicated. He loved you, in his way. I wiped my eyes. It doesn't feel like it. She was quiet. I know. I hung up, feeling empty. I walked home, past Daniel's house, my house, once. Lights on, laughter inside. I felt like a ghost. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. I replayed every word from the lawyer, every look from Daniel, every silence from Mom. I felt anger, sadness, and something else, determination. I whispered to myself, this isn't the end. I won't let it be. Closed my eyes, making a silent vow. Tomorrow, I'd start over. Somehow. I dragged the last box up the cracked steps, sweat running down my back. The house next door looked even worse up close, but it was mine. I set the box down and wiped my forehead. Daniel's voice rang out from his porch. You really bought that dump, huh? I didn't look at him. Yeah. It's not much, but it's a start. He laughed loud and sharp. A start to what? Collecting mold. I forced a smile. You'll see. He shook his head. You're stubborn, I'll give you that. But you're wasting your time. Dad's house is the only one worth anything on this street. I picked up my hammer. Maybe. But I like a challenge. Daniel shrugged. Suit yourself. Don't come crying to me when the roof caves in. I watched him walk away, his back straight, his head high. I wanted to yell at him, to tell him he was wrong, but I bit my tongue. I had work to do. The front door creaked as I pushed it open. The smell of dust and old wood hit me. I coughed, waving my hand in front of my face. Home sweet home, I muttered. I started pulling up the old carpet, my hands turning black with dirt. Every rip, every nail I pulled, felt like a small victory. I was making this place mine, piece by piece. A soft voice called from outside. Hello, are you the new neighbor? I peeked out the window. An old woman stood on the sidewalk, holding a plate of cookies. Her gray hair was pulled back in a neat bun, and her eyes sparkled behind thick glasses. I opened the door. Hi, She smiled. I know who you are. You're Michael, right? I'm Mrs. Green. I live across the street. I nodded. Surprised. That's me. How did you? She handed me the plate. I've lived here for 40 years. I know everyone. And I saw you moving in. Thought you could use a treat. I took the cookies, the warmth seeping through the plate. Thank you. That's really kind. She looked past me into the house. It needs work, but it has good bones. Are you fixing it up yourself? I nodded. Yeah. I don't have much money, so I'm doing what I can. She smiled. That's the spirit. My late husband used to say, a house is just a shell until you fill it with hope. I laughed. I guess I have a lot of hope. Then. She patted my arm. If you need anything, just ask. I have tools, and I make a mean lemonade. I grinned. I might take you up on that. I'm not much of a handyman, she winked. You'll learn. Everyone does, eventually. I watched her walk back across the street, her steps slow but steady. I felt a little less alone. I set the cookies on the counter and grabbed my hammer again. The kitchen window was cracked, so I pried it out, careful not to cut myself. I muttered, one window at a time. My phone buzzed. A text from Daniel. Still think you can fix that place. I typed back, watch me. I worked until my arms ached. The sun dipped low, painting the walls gold. I heard footsteps on the porch. Mrs. Green again, this time with a glass of lemonade. She handed it to me. You look like you could use this. I took a long sip. You weren't kidding. This is amazing. She sat on the steps beside me. So why'd you buy this place? I hesitated. I couldn't leave this street. It's home, even if it hurts to be so close to Daniel. She nodded. Family can be hard, but you're strong. I can see it. I looked at my hands, stained with dirt. I don't feel strong. I feel angry and lost. She squeezed my shoulder. That's normal, but you're here. You're trying. That's what matters. I stared at Daniel's house. Lights on, laughter drifting out. I wondered if he ever felt lost. Mrs. Green followed my gaze. He's hurting too, you know. People hide it in different ways. I shook my head. He doesn't care. He got everything. I got nothing. She smiled gently. Sometimes, having everything means you have more to lose. I thought about that as I finished my lemonade. Maybe. But I want to prove I can do this. I want to build something for myself. She stood up. You will. And if you need help, I'm right across the street. I watched her go, feeling a strange mix of hope and fear. I went back inside, determined to keep working. That night, I called Mom. She answered, her voice tired. Michael, yeah, it's me. I just wanted to let you know, I'm okay. I moved in next door. She was quiet, I know. Daniel told me. I waited, hoping for something more. I'm fixing it up. It's a mess, but I think I can make it work. She sighed. I hope so. Take care of yourself. I hung up, my chest tight. I stared at the ceiling, listening to the house settle around me. I whispered, I'll make this work. I have to. The next morning, I woke up early. I opened the front door and found a small toolbox on the porch. A note was taped to the top, for when hope needs a little help. Mrs. Green, I smiled, feeling a little lighter. I picked up the hammer and got to work, one nail at a time. I was hammering a loose board in the hallway when I heard voices drifting through the open window. Daniel's laugh was sharp, and another voice, Mark's, I realized was louder than I remembered. Man, you're sitting on a gold mine, Mark said. Why not just sell the business and cash out? Daniel snorted. Dad always said to keep it in the family, but what's the point? I could use the money now. I'm not running that old place. Mark's voice dropped. You could. Get a fortune. Who cares what your dad wanted? He's gone. I froze, my hands gripping the hammer. I pressed closer to the window, heart pounding. Daniel said, Michael's probably listening. He's always lurking around, acting like he cares. Mark laughed. Let him listen. What's he gonna do? Cry to your mom. Daniel's voice was cold. He's too soft. He'll just sulk in that dump next door. I couldn't take it anymore. I stormed outside, slamming the back door. You're selling Dad's business? Are you serious? Daniel turned, not even surprised. It's mine. I can do what I want. Mark grinned at me. Hey, Mikey. Still playing handyman? I ignored him. Dad built that business from nothing. You can't just throw it away. Daniel shrugged. Watch me. I'm not wasting my life on Dad's dreams. I stepped closer. You're not just selling a building. You're selling everything he worked for. Mark rolled his eyes. You're so dramatic. It's just money, man. I glared at him. You don't know anything about our family. Daniel crossed his arms. You're not part of this, Michael. You lost. Move on. I felt my voice shake. You're making a mistake, he smirked. No, I'm making a smart move. You should try. It's sometime, Mark nudged him. Let's go. We've got calls to make. Daniel walked past me, not even looking at me. Mark followed, grinning. See you around, Mikey. Don't work too hard. I watched them leave, my fists clenched. I wanted to scream, but the words stuck in my throat. I went back inside, slamming the door behind me. I paced the kitchen, anger boiling in my chest. I grabbed my phone and called Mom. She didn't answer. I left a message anyway. Daniel's selling the business. Please, call me back. I sat at the table, staring at the wall. The house felt colder than ever. A knock at the door made me jump. I opened it to find Mrs. Green, holding a mug of tea. She smiled gently. You look like you could use this. I took the mug, my hands shaking. Thank you. She stepped inside, looking around. Rough day. I nodded. Daniel's selling Dad's business. He doesn't care about any of it. She sat at the table. Sometimes, people hurt us because they're hurting too. I shook my head. He's not hurting. He's just selfish. She sipped her tea. Maybe. Or maybe he's scared. Losing someone changes people. I stared at the floor. He acts like I don't exist. Like Dad never mattered. She reached for my hand. You matter. Your father mattered. Don't let Daniel take that from you. I swallowed hard. I don't know what to do. I can't stop him. She squeezed my hand. You can't control him, but you can protect what's important to you. I looked up. How? She smiled. Watch. Listen. Be patient. Sometimes, the best way to fight back is to be smarter, not louder. I nodded slowly. I'll try. She stood up. You're stronger than you think, Michael. Don't forget that. I walked her to the door. Thank you, Mrs. Green. Really? She patted my shoulder. Anytime. And if you need to talk, you know where to find me. I watched her cross the street, her steps steady. I closed the door and leaned against it. Breathing deep, I pulled out my phone and scrolled through old photos Dad at the shop, smiling, Daniel and me as kids, covered in sawdust. I felt the sting of tears, but blinked them away. I whispered, I won't let you down, Dad. I wiped my face and grabbed a notebook. If Daniel and Mark were up to something, I needed to know what. I wrote down everything I'd heard, every detail I could remember. I stared at the page. I'll protect what's left, even if I have to do it alone. The house was quiet, but my mind was racing. I listened for Daniel's car, for any sign he might come back. But the street stayed silent. I sat at the table, the mug of tea warm in my hands. I thought about Mrs. Green's words. Be smarter, not louder. I made a promise to myself. I wouldn't let Daniel destroy everything Dad built. I'd find a way to stop him. I'd watch, I'd listen, and I'd fight back. No matter what it took. I stared at the peeling wallpaper in my living room, the notebook open on my lap. My mind kept replaying Daniel's words. I needed a plan, but I had no idea where to start. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I hesitated, then answered. Hello? A bright voice replied. Hi. Is this Michael Carter? I'm Emily from Green Realty. Mrs. Green said you might need some advice about your house. I blinked. Ah, yeah, that's me. I could use some help. She laughed. Great, I'm in the neighborhood. Mind if I stop by? I glanced around at the mess. Sure, just ignore the chaos. 10 minutes later, there was a knock. I opened the door to a young woman with a clipboard and a big smile. She stepped inside, looking around. Wow, this place has character. I love it. I snorted. That's one word for it. She grinned. I see potential. What are you hoping to do with it? I shrugged. Honestly, I just want to make it livable. Maybe rent out a room or two. She nodded. Smart. The rental market's strong right now. If you fix up the kitchen and bathroom, you could get good tenants. I sighed. I don't have much money or experience. She sat on the arm of the couch. You'd be surprised what you can do with a little elbow grease. I can help you make a list of priorities. I smiled, feeling lighter. Thanks, Emily. I really appreciate it. She pulled out her phone. Let's start with photos. Mind if I take a few? I shook my head. Go ahead. Just don't post them online. I don't need Daniel making fun of me again. She raised an eyebrow. Your brother? I nodded. He inherited everything. He thinks I'm wasting my time here. She frowned. Sounds rough. But you're not alone. You've got Mrs. Green, and now you've got me. I laughed. I guess I do. She snapped a few pictures, then sat back down. So, what's the real story with your brother? I hesitated. He's selling Dad's business. I think he's making a huge mistake, but he won't listen to me. She looked thoughtful. Have you tried talking to him? I shook my head. He doesn't care what I think. He's got Mark whispering in his ear. She made a face. Mark, I know that guy. He's trouble. I leaned forward. You know him. She nodded. He tried to rent an apartment from me last year. Didn't pass the background check. I felt a surge of hope. Would you tell me what you know? She smiled. Of course. But first, let's talk about your house. You need a plan. I grabbed a pen. I'm listening. She pointed at the ceiling. Start with the leaks, then the windows. After that, paint. I can get you a list of affordable contractors. I scribbled notes. This is more help than I've had in weeks. She grinned. I like a good project. and I like helping people who don't give up. I felt my cheeks flush. Thanks, Emily. Really. She stood up. I'll email you some contacts. And if you need a hand, I'm good with a paintbrush. I walked her to the door. You're a lifesaver. She winked. Just returning the favor. Mrs. Green helped me when I moved here. After she left, I sat on the porch, thinking, maybe I wasn't as alone as I thought. Mrs. Green waved from across the street. How'd it go? I called back. Better than I expected. Emily's a genius. She smiled. Told you so. She's got a good heart. I walked over, sitting on her steps. I need to ask you something. Do you think I'm crazy for staying here? She shook her head. Not at all. You're building something for yourself. That takes guts. I sighed. Daniel thinks I'm wasting my time. She patted my hand. Daniel's lost. He thinks money is everything. You know better. I looked at her. I want to stop him from ruining Dad's business, but I don't know how. She leaned in. Watch. Listen. People like Mark always slip up. Be patient. I nodded. I'll try. She smiled. And remember, you're not alone. You've got friends. I walked back home, feeling a little stronger. I opened my laptop and started searching for everything I could find about Mark. Old news articles, business records, anything my phone buzzed. Emily again. Hey, I found something weird about Mark. Call me. I dialed her number. What did you find? She spoke quickly. He's been sued for fraud. Twice. He's not just a bad tenant, he's dangerous. I felt my heart race. Thank you, Emily. This could help. She said, be careful, Michael. Guys like him don't play fair. I promised. I will. And thanks again. After I hung up, I stared at my notes. I had a plan now. I'd fix up the house, rent out rooms, and keep an eye on Daniel and Mark. I'd protect what was left of Dad's legacy. No matter what, I whispered, I'm not giving up, not now. And for the first time in weeks, I actually believed it. I was patching a hole in the living room wall when my phone rang. Emily's name flashed on the screen. Hey, Emily, I answered, wiping dust from my hands. She sounded worried. Michael, have you seen the news? There's talk about your brother's business. Something about unpaid debts. My heart skipped. No, I haven't. What's going on? She sighed. People are saying Daniel's in over his head. Investors are getting nervous. I shook my head. He never listens. I told him not to trust Mark. Emily's voice softened. You tried. That's all you can do. I stared at the wall. I wish Dad was here. He'd know what to do. She was quiet for a moment. You're stronger than you think, Michael. You're not your brother. I managed a weak laugh. Sometimes I wish I was. Maybe then I'd have it all figured out. She said, you don't need to be Daniel. You just need to be you. I thanked her and hung up, feeling the weight of everything pressing down. I needed air. I stepped outside, the cool breeze hitting my face. Across the street, Mrs. Green was watering her flowers. She waved. Rough day. I nodded. Daniel's business is falling apart. I don't know what to do. She set down her watering can. Sometimes, you have to let people make their own mistakes. I sat on her porch steps. He's ruining everything Dad built. She handed me a glass of lemonade. Your father was proud of you, you know. He told me once you had a good heart. I looked down. I found a letter from him, hidden in my old room. He said he was sorry for not being fair. He wanted me to forgive, but also to stand up for myself. She smiled. Sounds like good advice. I took a sip. I want to forgive Daniel, but I can't let him destroy everything. She nodded. You don't have to choose. You can protect what matters and still have compassion. I heard a car door slam. Daniel stormed across the yard, face red. You. Did you talk to the investors? Did you say something? I stood up. No, Daniel, I didn't. Maybe they're just seeing the truth. He glared at me. You're always in my way. You think you're better than me. I shook my head. No. I just want what's right. He scoffed. You're pathetic. Living in that dump, pretending you're some hero. Mrs. Green stepped between us. That's enough. Daniel, go home. He pointed at me. Stay out of my business, Michael. I mean it. I watched him stomp back to his car. Mrs. Green sighed. He's scared. He's lashing out. I nodded. I know. But I can't let him drag me down with him. She squeezed my shoulder. You're doing the right thing. I went back inside, my hands shaking. I opened Dad's letter again, reading his words over and over. Forgive, but stand up for yourself. I called Mom. She answered on the second ring. Michael, yeah, it's me. I found a letter from Dad. He wanted us to forgive each other. She was quiet. I miss him every day. I swallowed. Me too. I'm trying, Mom. I really am, she said. I know. I'm proud of you. I hung up, feeling a little lighter. I sat at my desk, looking at the plans for the house. I could do this. I could build something new. My phone buzzed again. Emily this time. Hey, I talked to a contractor. He can help with the roof. For cheap, I smiled. That's amazing. Thank you, she laughed. You're welcome. You're not alone, Michael. Remember that. I looked around my half-finished living room. It's starting to feel like home. She said, Good. You deserve it. I ended the call and stared at the walls. For the first time, I saw more than just broken plaster and old paint. I saw a possibility. I whispered, I can do this. I'm not Daniel. I'm me. That night, I sat on the porch, watching the stars. I thought about Dad, about everything I'd lost, and everything I still had. I made a promise to myself. I wouldn't let anger or jealousy decide my future. I would build something better, even if I had to do it alone. And for the first time, I believed I could. I was painting the kitchen cabinets when I heard frantic knocking at my door. I wiped my hands on my jeans and opened it to find Daniel, his eyes wild, hair a mess. He pushed past me. I need your help. I stared at him. With what? He paced my living room, hands shaking. Mark took the money. All of it. He's gone. The investors are threatening to sue. I'm screwed, Michael. I leaned against the counter. You trusted Mark. I warned you. He glared at me. Don't start. I know I messed up. I don't know what to do. I crossed my arms. Why are you here? He dropped onto the couch, head in his hands. I have nowhere else to go. Mom won't even answer my calls. I sat across from him. You burned a lot of bridges, Daniel. He looked up, eyes red. I know. I was stupid. I thought I could handle everything. I thought Mark was my friend. I shook my head. He used you. You let him. He slammed his fist on the armrest. I get it. Okay. I lost everything. The house, the business, even Dad's watch. It's all gone. I felt a pang of sympathy, but I kept my voice steady. What do you want from me? He looked desperate. Just a place to stay. Just for a few days, please. I hesitated. If you stay here, you follow my rules. No drinking, no yelling, no blaming anyone else. He nodded quickly. Fine, whatever you say. I stood up. You can have this spare room, but you need to start making things right. He looked away. I don't even know where to start. I sighed, apologized to Mom, faced the investors, take responsibility. He buried his face in his hands. I'm scared, Michael. I sat beside him. I know, but you can't run from this. He nodded, voice small. Thanks for letting me stay. I got up. I'll get you some blankets. As I walked down the hall, my phone buzzed. Emily, I answered quietly. Hey. She asked, everything okay? I saw Daniel's car. I whispered, he's here. Mark stole everything. He's a mess. She sighed. Are you sure you want him there? I shrugged, even though she couldn't see me. He's my brother. I can't just turn him away. She said, you're a good person, Michael, but don't let him drag you down. I nodded. I won't, thanks, Emily. After I hung up, I brought Daniel the blankets. He was staring at the ceiling. He said, I never thought I'd end up like this. I sat on the edge of the bed. You can still fix things, but you have to want to. He looked at me, tears in his eyes. I'm sorry, Michael, for everything. I swallowed hard. It's a start. He wiped his face. I'll talk to Mom tomorrow. I promise. I stood. Good. Get some sleep. I closed the door and leaned against it, my heart heavy. I texted Mrs. Green, Daniel's staying here. Mark betrayed him. She replied almost instantly. Karma always finds a way. Be careful, Michael. I smiled a little. I went to the kitchen, made tea, and sat at the table, thinking about everything that had happened. Daniel shuffled in, rubbing his eyes. Can I have some tea? I poured him a cup. Here. He took a sip, hands shaking. I don't deserve this. I looked at him. Maybe not. But you're still my brother. He stared at the mug. I wish I could go back. I'd do everything differently. I said softly, you can't go back. You can only move forward. He nodded, silent. We sat in. The quiet. The only sound, the ticking of the old clock. I thought about Dad, about how he always said family was everything. I wondered what he'd say now. Daniel finally spoke. I'll try to fix things, I promise. I believed him, just a little. He finished his tea and went back to bed. I cleaned up, my mind racing. I knew things wouldn't be easy, but maybe this was the start of something better. I texted Emily. He apologized. I think he means it. She replied, I hope so. You deserve peace, Michael. I stared at the screen, feeling a strange mix of hope and sadness. I whispered to the empty room, maybe we both do. And for the first time, I let myself believe that things could change. I was fixing the porch railing when Emily showed up, waving a folder. Michael, you got the loan. The bank approved it. I nearly dropped my screwdriver. Are you serious? She grinned. Completely. You can finish the renovations and start your business for real. I laughed, relief flooding through me. I can't believe it. Thank you, Emily. I couldn't have done this without you. She nudged me. You did most of it yourself. I just pointed you in the right direction. Daniel stepped onto the porch, rubbing his eyes. What's going on? Emily smiled at him. Your brother's about to become a landlord. Daniel looked at me, surprised. You're renting out rooms. I nodded. Yeah. I already have 2 tenants lined up. I'm starting small, but it's something. He looked away. That's good. I'm happy for you. Emily checked her watch. I have to run, but I'll send you the contractor's info. Call me if you need anything. I watched her leave, then turned to Daniel. You okay? He shrugged. I'm looking for work. No one wants to hire me. My name's Mud around here. I sat beside him. You'll find something. Just keep trying. He sighed. I never thought I'd be the one asking for help. I smiled. Life's funny like that. He looked at me, serious. I'm sorry, Michael. For everything I was a jerk. I nodded. You were. But you're trying now. That matters. He stared at the street. Mom called. She wants to see us. I think she's ready to talk. I felt a weight lift. That's good. We need to fix things with her. He nodded. I want to. I really do. A car pulled up. My first tenant, a young guy named Sam, stepped out. He waved. Hey Michael, is the room ready? I grinned. Yeah, come on in. I'll show you around. Daniel watched as I led Sam inside. You're really doing it, huh? I smiled. Yeah, I am. Sam looked around. This place is great. Way better than my last apartment. I laughed. Thanks. Still a work in progress, but it's home. He handed me a check. First month's rent. I took it, feeling proud. Welcome, Sam. After. Sam left to unpack. Daniel sat at the kitchen table. You're different, Michael. More confident. I poured us both coffee. I had to be. No one else was going to save me. He nodded. I wish I'd figured that out sooner. I shrugged. We all learn at our own pace. He looked at me. Do you think Mom will forgive me? I thought about it. I think she wants to. But you have to show her you've changed. He sipped his coffee. I will, I promise. Mrs. Green knocked on the back door, holding a pie. I heard you have a new tenant. Congratulations, I grinned. Thanks, Mrs. Green. Want to come in? She set the pie on the counter. I'm proud of you, Michael. You turned this place around. Daniel looked at her. I wish I could say the same for myself. She smiled kindly. It's never too late, Daniel. You just have to start. He nodded, looking down. I'm trying. She patted his hand. That's all anyone can ask. After she left, Daniel turned to me. Do you think Dad would be proud? I felt a lump in my throat. Yeah, I think he would. He wiped his eyes. I hope so. I clapped him on the shoulder. We're not done yet. But we're getting there. He managed a small smile. Thanks, Michael, for not giving up on me. I smiled back. We're family. That's what we do. That night, I sat on the porch, watching the lights from my house and Daniel's old place. I thought about how much had changed. I wasn't the scared, angry kid anymore. I was building something real. Daniel joined me, sitting quietly. You know, I used to think having everything would make me happy. I looked at him. Did it? He shook his head. No, I was empty. I was wrong. I nodded. We both made mistakes, but we're still here. He smiled. Yeah, we are. We are. We sat in silence, the night air cool and calm. For the first time, I felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be. I was making coffee when Daniel shuffled into the kitchen, rubbing his eyes. He looked nervous, like he hadn't slept. He cleared his throat. Michael, can we talk? I poured him a cup. Sure, what's up? He took the mug, staring into it. I need to see Mom. I need to say I'm sorry. I can't keep running from it. I nodded. I think that's a good idea. She's been waiting for you to reach out. He looked at me, voice shaky. Will you come with me? I hesitated, then nodded. Of course, we'll go together. We drove in silence, the tension thick. When we pulled up to Mom's house, Daniel just sat there, gripping the steering wheel. I put a hand on his shoulder. You can do this. He nodded, took a deep breath, and got out. I followed him up the steps. He knocked, and after a long pause, Mom opened the door. She looked at us, her eyes tired. Daniel, Michael. Daniel's voice was barely a whisper. Hi, Mom. Can we come in? She stepped aside. Of course. We sat in the living room, the air heavy. Daniel stared at his hands. Mom broke the silence. Why are you here, Daniel? He swallowed hard. I'm sorry, Mom, for everything. For the business, for the house, for how I treated you and Michael. I was selfish. I let you both down. She looked at him, her eyes shining. You hurt us, Daniel. You hurt yourself, too. He nodded, tears in his eyes. I know, I lost everything. I lost myself. I want to make things right. She reached for his hand. It's not too late, but you have to mean it. He squeezed her hand. I do, I promise. I watched them, my own eyes stinging. Mom turned to me. Thank you for standing by him, Michael. I know it wasn't easy. I shrugged. He's my brother. I couldn't just give up. She smiled softly. You've both grown so much. Your father would be proud. Daniel wiped his face. I wish I could tell him I'm sorry too. Mom squeezed his hand. He knew you loved him. He wanted you to be better than your mistakes. Daniel looked at me. I want to help you. Michael, with the house, with the business, whatever you need. I smiled. I'd like that. We can start over. Together. He nodded. I want to earn your trust back. Both of you. Mom hugged him, then me. We're still a family. We can heal. We sat together, talking about Dad, about old memories, about the future. For the first time in a long time, I felt hope. Later, as we left, Daniel turned to me. Thank you for coming with me. I couldn't have done it alone. I clapped him on the back. You did the hard part. I'm proud of you. He smiled, a real smile this time. I want to help with the tenants. Maybe fix up the backyard. I laughed. You, doing yard work? He grinned. I'll try not to break anything. We drove home, the silence comfortable now. When we pulled up, Emily was waiting on the porch. She waved. How'd it go? Daniel answered first. Better than I hoped. I apologized. Mom forgave me. Emily smiled. That's huge, Daniel. I'm happy for you. He nodded. Thanks. I've got a lot to make up for. She looked at me. You okay, Michael? I nodded. Yeah, I think we're finally moving forward. Emily stepped closer. You both deserve a fresh start. Daniel headed inside, leaving us alone. Emily touched my arm. You did a good thing, Michael. Not everyone would have forgiven. I looked at her. I almost didn't. But I realized holding on to anger was just hurting me. She smiled. You're stronger than you know. I felt a warmth in my chest. I couldn't have done any of this without you. Or Mrs. Green. She squeezed my hand. You did the work. We just cheered you on. I laughed. Still, I'm grateful. She looked at me, eyes soft. So, what's next? I thought about it. We keep building. The house, the business, our family. One day at a time. She nodded. I like that plan. We stood together on the porch, watching the sun set behind the houses. For the first time, I felt like I belonged, not just in the house, but in my own life. And I knew, whatever came next, I wouldn't face it alone. I was in the backyard, pulling weeds, when Daniel came out with 2 mugs of coffee. He handed me one and sat on the steps. He grinned. You know, I never thought I'd see you gardening. I laughed. I never thought I'd see you up before. 10. He sipped his coffee. I'm trying to change. I want to help out more. I nodded. I appreciate it. The tenants like you, by the way. Sam said you fixed his leaky faucet. Daniel shrugged. It wasn't hard. I watched a video online. Emily poked her head over the fence. Morning, you too. Need any help? I waved her over. Always. We're clearing out the old flower beds. She climbed through the gate, wiping her hands on her jeans. I brought muffins. Mrs. Green's recipe. Daniel took one, grinning. These are amazing. You should open a bakery. Emily laughed. Maybe one day. For now, I'll settle for being your unofficial project manager. I smiled at her. You're more than that. You kept me going when I wanted to quit. She nudged me. You did. All the hard work, Michael. Don't sell yourself short. Mrs. Green called from her porch. Don't let them eat all the muffins, Emily. Emily waved. Come join us, Mrs. Green. Mrs. Green shuffled over, carrying a basket of tomatoes. You kids are making this street lively again. Daniel helped her sit. We're trying. It feels good to do something real. She patted his hand. You've come a long way, Daniel. I'm proud of you. He looked down, embarrassed. Thanks. I still have a lot to learn. I looked around at everyone. I never thought I'd have this. A home, friends, family. I thought I lost everything. Emily squeezed my arm. You built this, Michael. You turned things around. I felt a lump in my throat. I just wanted to prove I could do it. That I wasn't a failure. Daniel said quietly, You never were. I just couldn't see it. Before, I met his eyes. We both made mistakes, but we're fixing them. He nodded. Yeah, I want to keep helping. Maybe even start my own project someday. Mrs. Green smiled. You'll do fine. Just remember to ask for help when you need it. Emily grinned. And don't forget to celebrate the small wins. I raised my coffee mug. To new beginnings. Everyone joined in. 2 new beginnings. After breakfast, Daniel and I started working on the backyard fence. He measured while I held the boards. He said, I talked to Mom last night. She wants to come by for dinner. I smiled. That's great. I'll cook. He laughed. You. Last time you burned the pasta. I rolled my eyes. I've improved. Emily's been teaching me. Emily called from the porch. He's not lying. He makes a mean chili now. Daniel grinned. I'll believe it when I taste it. We worked in comfortable silence for a while. I watched Daniel hammer in a nail, his focus intense. I said, You know, Dad would have liked this. Us working together. Daniel nodded. I think about him a lot. I wish I could tell him I'm sorry. I put a hand on his shoulder. He knew you loved him. He'd be proud of you now. He smiled, eyes shining. Thanks, Michael. Later, as the sun set, the tenants joined us in the backyard. Sam brought his guitar, and we all sat around, sharing stories and music. Mrs. Green clapped along, laughing. This is what a neighborhood should feel like. Emily leaned against me. You did it, Michael. You made this happen. I looked at everyone: Daniel, Emily, Mrs. Green. The tenants and felt a deep sense of peace. I whispered, I'm finally home. Daniel heard me and smiled. Yeah, me too. As the stars came out, I realized this was just the beginning. There would be hard days, but I wasn't alone anymore. I looked at my brother, my friends, my new family, and knew we could face anything together. A new chapter had started, and for the first time, I was excited to see what came next. I was sitting on the porch, watching the sunrise, when Daniel joined me with 2 mugs of coffee. He handed me one and sat down beside me. He smiled. You're up early. I took a sip. Couldn't sleep. Too much on my mind. He looked out at the street. Hard to believe how much has changed. Remember when we used to race our bikes down this block? I laughed. Yeah, you always cheated. He grinned. I called it strategy. We sat in silence for a moment, just listening to the birds. The neighborhood felt peaceful, almost new. Daniel broke the silence. Mom's coming by later. She wants to see the garden. I nodded. She called me last night. Said she's proud of us. He looked at me, serious. I never thought we'd get here, Michael. I thought I'd lost everything for good. I shrugged. We both lost a lot, but we found something better. He smiled. Family, I nodded. Yeah, family. And a second chance. Emily stepped onto the porch, her hair still messy from sleep. Morning, you too. Am I interrupting? Daniel shook his head. Not at all. Come join us. She sat on my other side, leaning her head on my shoulder. You look happy, Michael. I smiled. I am. For the first time in a long time. She squeezed my hand. You deserve it. Daniel looked at us, a little smile on his face. You. No. I used to think having everything meant money, houses, stuff. But it's this, right here. I nodded. Took us a while to figure that out. He laughed. We're slow learners. Emily grinned. At least you learned. The door creaked open, and Mom stepped out, carrying a plate of cinnamon rolls. I thought you might be hungry. Daniel jumped up to help her. Let me get that, Mom. She smiled at him. Thank you, Daniel. We all sat together, passing around the rolls. Mom looked at the garden, the house, the people around her. She said softly, Your father would be so proud of you both. I felt a lump in my throat. I hope so. I think about him every day. Daniel nodded. Me too. I wish I could tell him I'm sorry. Mom reached for his hand. He knew you loved him. He wanted you to be happy. Emily looked at me. What? Now, Michael. I thought about it. We keep going. We take care of each other. We make this place better, one day at a time. Daniel grinned. And maybe we finally fix that old treehouse. I laughed. You mean the one you fell out of? He rolled his eyes. You pushed me. Mom shook her head, smiling. You too. Never change. Mrs. Green called from across the street. Save me a cinnamon roll. Emily waved. Come over, Mrs. Green. There's plenty. Mrs. Green joined us, settling into her favorite chair. I love mornings like this. Reminds me of when my kids were young. Daniel handed her a roll. Thank you for everything, Mrs. Green. You helped us more than you know. She patted his hand. You did the hard work, Daniel. I just cheered you on. I looked around at everyone, feeling a deep sense of peace. I used to think I needed to prove myself. Now I just want to enjoy what we've built. Emily smiled. You earned it. Mom nodded. We all did. We sat together, eating and laughing the sun, warming our faces. I realized this was what Dad wanted for us, not money or things, but love, forgiveness, and a place to belong. Daniel nudged me. You know, I think we're going to be okay. I nodded. Yeah, I think so too. As the morning went on, neighbors stopped by, kids played in the yard, and the house filled with life. I watched Daniel help Mom in the garden, Emily chatting with Mrs. Green, and I felt whole. I whispered to myself, we made it. We really did. For the first time, I wasn't looking back. I was ready for whatever came next, surrounded by the people who mattered most, and as the sun climbed higher, I knew we had finally come full circle. I was cleaning out the old bookshelf in my living room when I found a faded envelope tucked between two dusty novels. My name was written on the front in Dad's handwriting. My heart skipped. I called out, Daniel, Emily, can you come? Here, Daniel hurried in, wiping his hands on his jeans. What's up? Emily followed, curiosity in her eyes. Everything okay? I held up the letter. I found something. It's from Dad. Daniel's face changed. Another letter. I nodded. Looks like it. I haven't opened it yet. Emily sat beside me on the couch. Read it, Michael. My hands shook as I broke the seal. I unfolded the paper and started reading aloud. Dear Michael, if you're reading this, it means you've made it through the hardest part. I'm sorry for the pain I caused. I know I wasn't always fair, and I know I left things unfinished. I hope you can forgive me. I hope you can forgive each other. Love, Dad. I stopped, my throat tight. Daniel sat down heavily. He really did love us, didn't he? I nodded. He just didn't always know how to show it. Emily squeezed my hand. He wanted you to have peace. I looked at Daniel. Do you want to read the rest? He nodded, so I handed him the letter. He cleared his throat and continued. I want you to know that family is more than blood or inheritance. It's the choices you make every day. It's forgiveness, kindness, and the courage to start over. I hope you find happiness, Michael. I hope you help each other. If you're ever lost, remember this. You are enough. You always were. Daniel's voice broke. He handed the letter back to me. I wish I could tell him I'm sorry. For everything, I put my arm around him. He knew, Daniel. He knew we'd mess up. He just wanted us to keep trying. Emily wiped her eyes. He'd be proud of you both. Look at what you've built. I smiled at her. We couldn't have done it without you, or Mrs. Green, or Mom. Daniel nodded. We're lucky, even after everything. I stood up, holding the letter. Let's show Mom. She should hear this too. We walked next door, the letter trembling in my hand. Mom opened the door, surprised to see us all together. She smiled. What's going on? I held up the letter. We found something from Dad. Can we read it to you? She nodded, her eyes already shining with tears. We sat in the living room, the four of us close together. I read the letter again, my voice steady this time. When I finished, Mom wiped her cheeks. He always had a way with words. I wish he'd said those things more often. Daniel took her hand. We know now, Mom. We know what matters. She hugged us both. I'm proud of you, both of you. You turned pain into something beautiful. Emily smiled. You're a strong family. I'm glad I got to be part of it. Mom looked at her. Your family too, Emily. We all laughed, the tension breaking. I felt lighter, as if a weight had finally lifted. Later, we sat in the backyard, the letter on the table between us. Mrs. Green joined us, bringing lemonade and cookies. She looked at the letter. Your father was a wise man. He just didn't always know how to show it. I nodded. He wanted us to forgive, to move on. She patted my hand. You did, Michael. You all did. Daniel leaned back in his chair. I used to think karma was about payback. But maybe it's about learning, about getting a second chance. Emily smiled at him. You took yours. That's what matters. I looked at everyone around me. I spent so long angry. I thought revenge would make me feel better. But it didn't. Forgiving you, Daniel. Forgiving Dad. Forgiving myself. What set me free? Daniel looked at me, his eyes clear. I'm sorry, Michael, for everything. I squeezed his shoulder. I know, and I forgive you. Mom wiped her eyes again. Your father would be so proud. Mrs. Green raised her. Glass. 2 new beginnings. We all raised our glasses. 2 new beginnings. As the sun set, I watched Daniel play with the tenants' kids in the yard. Emily sat beside me, her head on my shoulder. She whispered, "Are you happy, Michael?" I smiled. "Yeah, I really am." She looked at the letter. "What will you do with it?" I thought for a moment. "I'll keep it. As a reminder not of what we lost, but of what we found." She nodded. "That's perfect." Daniel came over, out of breath. "You coming, Michael? We're starting a game." I laughed. "Yeah, I'll be right there." He grinned. "Don't take too long. You know I hate waiting." I watched him run back, lighter than I'd seen him in years. Emily squeezed my hand. "You did it, you know. You changed everything." I shook my head. "We all did. Together." She smiled. "That's what family is." I stood up, looking at the house, the yard, the people I loved. I felt whole. I felt at peace. I whispered, "Thank you, Dad, for everything." As I joined the others, laughter filled the air. The pain, the betrayal, the struggle, it all led me here. I realized that karma wasn't about revenge. It was about growth, forgiveness, and love. And as the stars came out, I knew I was finally home.